Rights of the disabled. Disability. As defined in the Person with the Disabilities Act 1995 means blindness, low vision, leprosy, cured, hearing impairment, locomotion disability, mental retardation, mental illness. The Act asks the appropriate government and local authorities to formulate schemes for ensuring employment of persons with disabilities and such schemes which may provide for the training and welfare of persons with disabilities, the relaxation of the upper age limit, regulating the employment, health and safety measure, and creation of non-handicapping environment in places where persons with disabilities are employed. The Disabilities Act seeks the provision for such assistance for the disabled as aids and appliances for them, preferential allotment of land at concessional rates for houses, setting up business establishment for schools, the disabled to have the right to have easy access in railways and buses, seek slopes to be made for wheelchairs users. They have the right not to be reduced in rank when in employment, preferential treatment in matters relating to educational and employment facilities, not they would be denied any promotion merely on grounds of disability. There are provisions for giving facilities to the children with disabilities, especially those relating to education. In order to promote employment of persons with disabilities in organized formal sectors, the Act provides for a scheme of quota to the extent of 3% in all government departments, central and state governments. Significantly, the judiciary has acted in favor of the disabled. Some such cases can be cited in the National Federation of Blinds, the state of Uttar Pradesh 2000. The Supreme Court held that despite any scheme not existing, the disabled be given preferential treatment. In the Vijay K. Agrawal State of Rajasthan 2001, the court adjudged Dr. Vijay Agrawal's request valid the provisions of the Persons with Disabilities Act (PDA) be compiled with for the disabled in Pushkar Singh and others, University of Delhi and others 1994-1995. The court insisted on 3% reservation of seats in appointment for the disabled. Right to food. In reference to Article 11 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, the fundamental rights of everyone to be free from hunger and has been duly recognized. Paragraph 14 of the above article acts. Every state is obliged to ensure for everyone under its jurisdiction access to minimum essential food which is sufficient, nutritionally adequate and safe to ensure their freedom from hunger. India is committed to honoring the right to adequate food. Though in free India the famines have passed into history, yet hunger survives in the form of individual men, women, and children, and sometimes entire tribal or Dalit communities living without food for a long period of time. They are forced to cut back on their food intake, sometimes reducing to one meal a day, and sometimes eating grasses and mango kernels that do fill their stomach, but no nutrition. They suffer sometimes to see their children painfully sleep on empty stomachs. The government so far have tended to deny starvation and been unsuccessful in reversing malnutrition. Before the intervention of the Supreme Court in 2001, they ran many food schemes, but these were not guarantees that they could be withdrawn or reduced, and there was no obligation on the state that these schemes must cover all needy people. The Supreme Court changed this by directing that the government should not withdraw any food schemes and that all children in school be given hot cooked school meals. All children under 6 years as well as nursing and expectant mothers be given adequate food. The food that law needs to guarantee to every person in India must be nutrition and sufficient for an active and healthy life, be it bonded workers or disabled or an aged. The Supreme Court, in a significant decision, Union of India 2001 held that the people who are starving because of their inability to buy food grains have right to eat food under Article 21, and therefore they ought to be provided the same free of cost by the states out of surplus stock lying with the states, particularly when it is unused and rotting, and that the food grains be provided to all those who are aged, infirm, disabled, destitute women, destitute men, pregnant and lactating women and destitute children to ensure that no starvation death takes place. The Supreme Court had directed, for example, in May 2011 that the Union government release 5 million tons of food grains immediately for distribution in 150 most poverty-stricken districts of the country. Right to Information Act in India, in pursuant to the 77th report, in pursuant to the 77th report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee